everyone, and thanks for joining us for the third video on the analysis module on mech generation or mechanization. If you haven't yet, we recommend you first watch the first two videos on mapping the moving parts and finding burdens of proof before watching this video, as these will direct and lead us to the skill of mechanization. So what are mechanisms? Because I do find there's often a conflation between mechs and arguments or clashes and so on. Mechs are the building blocks of the analysis. They are the basic reasons provided for why a claim is true, and they are supposed to be fairly agreeable or non-contestable. In other words, a good mechanism is one that is both hard to contest and can explain a bottom line that otherwise would be very contestable. If your mechanisms are very controversial and need to be proven heavily in and of themselves, these are usually not mechanisms. These are arguments or burdens for the argument. How do we find mechanisms? So both the video on identifying the moving parts and the one on burdens of proof will be helpful here. We mechanize each burden separately. And the first step is asking ourselves, why is that claim true? We provide a reason, and then we ask ourselves, is that reason contestable or not? If it's the latter, this is a mechanism. If it's the former, meaning it's contestable, we ask ourselves again, okay, but why is this true? And we repeat this process until we reach a basic core mech that is almost uncontestable or very unlikely to be contestable, that can be then traced back, threading to the burden we want to prove. It will be helpful to use our list of moving parts and what impacts them that we have done in the first video, as this can inspire ideas for mechanism and allow us to generate more of them that we would otherwise not think of. It's advisable to practice coming up with as many mechs as possible. However, it's not advisable to always use all of them in a speech. Do not do 13 reasons why with your arguments. You want to come up with as many mechs so that you have a large pool to choose out of, and therefore you can prioritize the best one. Most of that in the prioritization module. However, don't give all mechs in your speech. Choose the best 3 or so. So how do we practice this? Do the above-mentioned process of asking yourself repeatedly why until you reach a non-contestable claim with different motions and arguments in your free time. As always, we suggest setting measurable targets in order to track your progress and gradually increase the difficulty with harder goals. There are 2 main parameters you can use in your goals to increase the difficulty: the number of mechanisms you come up with and the time limit. We suggest starting with unlimited time and aiming for 3 different mechanisms to find for your first goal, and increase the difficulty as you go from there. As always, in the description below, there will be a script for this video, including an example where we build on the same example from the previous video, which we already dissected into burdens, and we extensively mechanize all of these burdens. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video when we discuss prioritization.